All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glories to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bashem Rakwakwa, double honested apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the Yakim out there on the highways and byways, noise in this road abroad, all around the world through the spirit and power of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. So I want to talk about the money system, this fiat currency that we're currently in, that we're currently using, which is not really money, when you think about it. It's based upon legal tender, you know, and I want to get into it because here it is. You got our people, worshiping this money, making this money and actually upholding this dollar, as if it has value, which, they don't have any idea that they're going to be wiping their ass with it pretty soon, because it's pretty much not worth nothing. It's not worth the paper that it's printed on, Statement said by Gerald Celente, It's really not worth anything, but, you have our people, such as these rappers, they want to, they're taking pictures of bundles of cash, and actually, worshiping this as if it's worth anything when in reality it's not. It's an illusion. It's fake. And it's pretty much fiat currency. And this is the definition of fiat money. It says in convertible paper money made legal tender by a government decree. And this Federal Reserve note was made legal tender, going back to 1913, when, when the super rich elite got together, and had a secret meeting on how to form and then how to create this fiat currency, and this is what they exactly did. But what they did was they gradually, implemented this, when they implemented the US dollar, it was backed by gold and silver, so you were able to trade, let's say $5 for, I think, 5 shekels of gold or something like that. You was able to exchange it for gold back then. But slowly but surely, gradually, they removed the gold. They removed it, They removed the gold and silver, from it. So from that point on, like as time went on, this dollar began to decline because it's not really backed by, gold or silver. It's not really backed by tangible money. And you hear these economic or financial analysts, such as Peter Schiff, Gerald Celente, Mark, forgot his name, but another one is Max Kaiser, from RT. The list goes on, and they all said it, they said that this financial money is not backed by anything, and eventually the dollar is going to be destroyed, which is true. The dollar will eventually be destroyed because the same thing with the denarius back in the ancient Roman Empire. They did the exact same thing. When they devoured the denarius, they started mixing it with, clay and different things, So America's no different, America is no different. And if you read on the Federal Reserve note, the paper money, it says, this note is used for legal tender, It's just used for legal tender. It's not really real. It's an illusion. It's not real money. It's not tangible. And our people, they're just falling for the okie doke, this system, Esau Edom got the people fooled, especially our people, Our people are the main ones that hold this US dollar up as standard, They take pictures with it, and they just look like complete idiots, complete fools, because you're not going to see no Moabite or, or any of these, especially the so-called white man, these super rich, white people, you're not going to see them, hold up a bundle of cash and taking pictures with it and shit, or displaying it, and taking pictures as if, they actually have something. You're not going to see these other nations doing that, but you see our people doing it, like, and this is just shows you that our people are just complete fools, like the Lord said, my people are foolish. They have not known me. They are Sodom's children, like our people are just complete idiots. And, and our people, these rappers that are, in the rap industry or in the entertainment industry doing this shit, you got our regular people just following this shit, actually repeating the same bullshit that they're doing, holding up stacks of money, counting it and shit, like as if they have something, which, it's all a fraud. It's all fraud. It's all make believe, but this money system ain't worth shit. And it pretty soon, it's going to collapse, and it's going to be replaced by RFID, because this system is based upon credit. It's not based upon any, tangible things, It's based upon credit, So this is why it's easy. It's going to be easy to really, transfer or really, transfer from, using paper currency to the, into digital currency, and it's all done gradually, You got the credit card, you got your debit card, because right now people are not really using cash like that no more, People are using their debit cards, or doing purchases with their debit cards more than they're using, more than they're purchasing goods with cash, So this is why it's going to be easy to make that transition from, cash to using digital currency. It's going to be easy because people are not using, cash like that no more. They're just using their debit cards. They're using their debit cards more than they're using cash. So this is why it's gonna be easy to make this transition. But without further ado, let me just jump in the scripture real quick. So this is James chapter 5 verse 1, and it says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupt, and your garments are moth-eaten." So these riches are corrupt. Like their riches are corrupt because they're actually, because currently now the U.S. dollar is the world's number one currency. In order to do trade or people, they have to convert to the U.S. dollar. This is why they killed people like Saddam Hussein, or people like Muammar Gaddafi. They killed these people because, they didn't want to deal with the U.S. dollar anymore because they recognized that it's not real money. Gaddafi, he wanted to implement the gold, standard thing, He wanted to use actual real money, which is gold, gold and silver. But, the U.S., knowing that this would be a threat, what I'm saying? They came up with this propaganda that, Gaddafi was killing their own people. So that justified them into going into that country and killing the leader, killing Gaddafi, which is all, propaganda, all lies, bullshit. They did that because he didn't want to deal with the U.S. dollar anymore. So as Saddam Hussein, they lied and said he had weapons of mass destruction and went up in there and killed him, assassinated him, which is all lies because he didn't want to deal with the US dollar. He said, if you want to buy my oil, you got to convert your US dollars into euros, which, they didn't want to do that. So they just was like, okay, we don't want to do it your way. We're just going to take your shit, and that's what they did. They just went up in there and took it and took, control of that country, So this US dollar is corrupt. It's not really backed by anything. It's not backed by no real tangible money. It's fake, you know. Your gold and your silver are cankered, because, really, the people don't really have real gold. Let's say if you go in the store and you buy a 10 karat gold, 10 karat gold chain, really that's not real gold, really it's not 100% gold, and silver, it's not 100% silver, They really got the real gold and the real silver that they have, they got it, in these secret vaults. They really got the real gold and stuff in these secret vaults, that they have hidden underground, They really have the true gold, but what's going to happen is we're going to take that back, we as the elect, under our Lord Yahweh Shai, we're going to take that back by force, because ultimately that's what they did. They stole it from us anyway. Your gold and your silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as if it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. That's what they did. They heaped treasures together for the last days, and right now we're in the last days. But ultimately, we're gonna eventually take all of that back, through the spirit and power of our Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. This is what they're doing. Verse 4. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, because eventually it's kept back by fraud. You got this, you get paid at the end of the week, when the law says that, when you finish your work or when you finish your labor, you get paid before the sun goes down. You got that weekly pay and you got that bi-weekly pay, which is contrary to what the scriptures are saying, and ultimately you're not really getting paid any real money, though we may have to use this money due to the fact that we're under the curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, but it's still fraud. It's still robbery because we're not really getting paid shit, which is kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth, which is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because we understand this money system. We understand that this whole money system is false. It's not based upon real money, which goes back to the law. I'm saying that you should not make unjust weights and measures. You should not do any unrighteousness in weights and measures, which is the breaking of the law of, I believe it's in Leviticus. I'm not too sure, which is contrary to the law, and this is what the so-called white man Esau Edom is doing. He's not playing by the law. He's not keeping the law, and here it is on the Federal Reserve note he has, "In God we trust," but he doesn't trust in the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It's all abominable, which the Federal Reserve note is not backed by any real tangible, and not backed by gold or silver, not backed by real money. And like I stated earlier, in the video, that, when you look at it, when you truly examine the Federal Reserve note and you look at the note, it says this note is used for legal tender, and it's made legal tender by the government, by the secret elite, that's where it gets it. It's a false illusion of value, to be honest, because it truly doesn't have any value. It truly doesn't have any value since they removed the gold and the silver from it. So it's shit, and pretty soon people will be wiping their ass with it pretty soon. Because you got, food prices are going up, things are going up. It's not because that, things are going up just because it's going up. The reason why commodities and things are going up is because the US dollar is losing its value, which goes back to hyperinflation, which goes back to inflation. When the value of the dollar or the currency decrease, that's when goods and other things like other resources and necessities go up, because of inflation, because of the decrease of the US dollar, the decrease of the dollar, because it's truly not backed by anything, So this is why, the Lord is seeing this wickedness, and ultimately the Lord is going to come back and he's going to totally destroy and put an end to the system, because it's circling down the drain, like other, you see these people that are coming up speaking out against America. This place is definitely circling down the drain. It's unsustainable. Even the former chairman, Ben Bernanke, said this years ago. He said the US dollar is unsustainable. The current system that we're using is unsustainable. And it truly is. It's unsustainable. And eventually it's going to go down the shitter real soon. So, all praises and glories to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakwakadash, double on sad apostles of great millstone, shalom to the Yakim out there on the highways and byways.